Welcome back to today's video. It's your boy Hoop Rat bringing you another video about why the Hornets are going to make the playoffs. And in my opinion, it's not just about the additions of Melo Ball and Gordon Hayward that they made this offseason, but it's about a lot more than that. I mean, they have so many more assets that make their team actually a decent team, honestly. And we're going to be going into that during this video. So with that all being said, thank you so much for watching the video. And I want to thank everyone because it means a lot to me, that every single one of you that watched the video. And with that all being said, cue the intro. So although we're not going to be talking about LaMelo and Gordon Hayward the whole time, I think we do have to talk about LaMelo a little bit, given that he was the number 3 overall pick, and given how much of an impact he will be to the Hornets, I think, this next season. In my opinion, LaMelo Ball was the best talent in this NBA's draft. I think the Hornets got a little bit lucky, being that LaMelo wasn't the best fit for the Warriors because they have Steph already, and he wasn't the best fit for the Timberwolves because they have D'Angelo Russell already. So the Timberwolves ended up picking Anthony Edwards, and the Warriors ended up picking James Wiseman, and the Hornets got lucky with the 3rd overall pick in LaMelo. But with that being said, to go in with what LaMelo is good at, I think LaMelo has 3 things going for him. Number 1 is his passing ability. We all know that LaMelo and Lonzo, I don't know about Jello, I haven't watched him a ton, but LaMelo and Lonzo at least have a tremendous passing ability, and I think LaMelo definitely learned that from his older brother, to have a feel for the game and just know where the ball needs to be on the court. One more thing to talk about is LaMelo's dribbling. I think LaMelo is a tremendous dribbler, and I think he is able to get to the rim basically whenever he wants. One thing he'll have to watch out for when he gets in the league is people dropping off from him. I think with his lack of shooting ability, and I will think that will improve just as Lonzo's has improved, but it's just going to take some time for him to get his shooting mechanics and his shooting just where he wants it to be. But I think that his dribbling is way above average. I think he's able to do a lot more with the ball than most people are able to do at his height. Lastly, I think LaMelo has a tremendous upside for the defensive end. I mean, he is 6'7" as a point guard. There's not very many point guards in the league other than maybe his brother, or Ben Simmons, I guess, as well. But those 3, I think, are the only ones I can think of. Comment down below if there's any other tall point guards you can think of in the league. I just can't think of any right now. But I think he has a tremendous upside on the defensive end to be able to disrupt the shorter point guards and make them feel uncomfortable. I think that will prove to be a big asset for the Hornets this next season, and I think they'll really enjoy seeing him on the defensive end disrupt those smaller point guards. So the next player that was added to the Hornets this offseason was Gordon Hayward. Everyone has been saying that Gordon Hayward, the contract that the Hornets gave them, is they overpaid for him. But honestly, I don't think they overpaid for him that much, considering that the Celtics and the Pacers, who were maybe going to be in a sign and trade with the Celtics for Gordon Hayward, were giving them over $100 million. So the Hornets paid him maybe $10 to $15 million more than they should have, but they are the Hornets, and so they need to overpay a little bit if they're going to get any free agent. So I don't think it was that bad of a pickup for the Hornets, and I think Gordon Hayward will finally be back to his form that he was at the Utah Jazz. He'll be one of the focal points of the offenses at the Hornets as he was at the Utah Jazz. When you watch the games that he played on the Celtics, he kind of seemed like a backseat to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I mean, Jason Tatum did emerge as a superstar this year, but I think if Gordon Hayward wouldn't have gotten injured, then he would have stayed more of a consistent role on the team. I think him being the focal point of the offense at the Hornets will bring him back to himself as he was in the Jazz. The player that was hitting game-winning shots over LeBron James, the player that was dunking over a lot of people, getting chased down blocks like that on LeBron James. So basically what I'm trying to say is I think Gordon Hayward will return to his former self as he was on the Jazz. I just think the injuries the last few years kind of plagued him a little bit, but I think the rest and this new season coming forward, I hope he's 100% healthy, because if he's 100% healthy, he does scary stuff like this dunk. I mean, he is a very formidable player, and he was an all-star previously. If he's able to return to his all-star self, there's no question that the Hornets are going to be in the playoffs this next season. So with that being said, I think it's not just about Gordon Hayward and LaMelo Ball, although they're a big part of what's going to happen next season. I still think that other players on the team have a lot of upside and a lot of contributions they can make to bring them to the playoffs. I think players like Devontae Graham, who should have won Most Improved Player of the Year, going from 4.7 points his rookie season to 18.2 points his sophomore season. If that's not most improved, then what is most improved? I mean, he's literally averaging 14 more points per game, and he wasn't even in the discussion for most improved player. Wasn't in the top 3, wasn't any of those players. So, I don't know. I think he should have won most improved player. That's just my opinion, something that, kind of bugged me a little bit about last season, him not getting any talks at all. Then other players like Malik Monk. Malik Monk literally is a Skywalker. He's been doing so many dunks that have been so crazy, and I think he has the ability to help the team out a lot. And then they have Terry Rozier is still on the team. I mean, Terry Rozier didn't do much last season, as much as he should have. He was on the verge of losing his spot to Devontae Graham. I mean, he was averaging 18 points per game. But with that being said, they still have other players like Cody Zeller, PJ Washington. PJ Washington was a rookie last season, and I think he is coming into his own. I mean, he averaged 12 points this last season. I think they have a lot of players that are going to be doing a lot for their team. Yeah, that being said, I don't think they're going to be a number 1 seed or a 2 seed or anything like that in the playoffs. I think that they'll be more of a 6, 7, or 8 seed in the playoffs. But if you didn't know already, the playoffs next season, the top 10 seeds are going to get in on both ends of the conferences, Eastern and Western. And they're going to be doing a playoff game with the 7 and 8 seed. So you can't tell me that the Hornets aren't better than the Wizards, the Bulls, the Knicks, the Cavs, and the Pistons. I mean, that's 5 teams right there, and I can't tell you that the Hornets are going to be worse than those teams. But I have to say that there are 5 teams that the Hornets are better than. So with that being said, I think that will make the playoffs, and I also think they're better than the Magic as currently constructed. So that's one more team that'll get them at least into the top 10 and into one of those playoff seeds in the play-in game. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. This is just my take on why I think the Hornets make the playoffs, and it's just my opinion. Comment down below what you think. Where will the Hornets land in the Eastern Conference? Will they be a top 10 seed, and will they make the playoffs, or at least the playoff game, or will they actually make the playoffs? Will they be in the top 8 seed? What seed do you guys think the Hornets will be next season? And again, thank you so much for watching. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps more people get videos like this and more people view my channel. If you want more people to view content like this, drop a like and a comment and drop a subscription. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'm Hoop Rat.